Hi, Sue.
Okay, now I'm off mute. Hi.
Oh, hello. I need to grab something.
Okay.
Hi, Sue. Looks like everything's good. I'm wondering, were you able to unmute yourself or were you muted when you came in?
I don't know. I unmuted myself. I know I did that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, they don't put a whole new bunch of settings in place, and I didn't know that. So therefore, everybody had to have me, give them permission to unmute. So mute yourself now, and I want to make sure that they can mute and unmute. That's really the main thing.
Okay, I'm muted, unmuted.
Okay,
So Lynn was unmuted. She came in and then she muted herself to step away. So I guess we'll have to wait to see if she can unmute, because I know we've run into in other meetings too.
Yeah, let me make sure she can unmute. I, I'm not gonna stay. I've got, as you can see, I was like deep into it, and I got to go deep back into it. But I want to, make sure. So okay, let's see what Evie finds out.
Hi, Evie. Go ahead and yeah. So Evie can mute and unmute.
Perfect. That's what I want to make sure, because the recording is fine because it will come on, it will go off when the circle closes. That's good. The only change was that mute unmute was causing a problem. Okay,
Right.
love you guys.
Love you.
Holding you good. Bye bye, loves. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I don't close. Okay. I'm gonna make you a host just because I don't want the circle to close when I leave. Okay, Sue? You won't have to do anything though.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning.
It's a beautiful morning.
I know.
It is. It feels good. I like the heat. I like the sunshine.
Yep.
Where are you, Sue? Are you in your trailer?
I am.
So you are all moved. All right.
All my things are here. Now I'm just needing to get organized, and I need to find somebody who would help do some work on the little trailer. Somebody who knows how to do that. And it'll make it a lot nicer.
What kinds of work?
He put in a flooring, but he didn't put any molding. And so it just looks really old and yucky.
So some cosmetic.
Yeah, it really is cosmetic. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure, there are people out there that do that.
Well, I'm hoping I can find somebody I know. or somebody who knows somebody, and they're not looking for $50 an hour to put up little molding, show me how to do the molding, not ruin it, not ruin anything. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hi, Cinda.
Good morning.
I send
Hello, hello.
How are you? My gosh, I haven't seen you for so long.
I know I've been camping out in the wilds, and so I've been completely out of internet. And so, well, I look really
That
bright.
sounds delicious.
It was so wild animals. I was having Snow White moments, and with all these animals around, it was amazing. Oh, I know what's wrong. My light is on.
Did the seven dwarfs show up?
Yes, they did. And so we live on this, we have a very rustic cabin in the middle of nowhere. And so it's like camping. And I was up there for a week all by myself, no one else on the mountain. Well, for one day all by myself, no one else on the mountain. I had a Snow White day. I saw bears and deer and elk and ground squirrels and chipmunks and a snow rabbit. And I was just like, and I went through a vortex of snow that was just a couple feet long. You know, I drove into it and then I drove out of it. And it was just like, oh my God, this is otherworldly. This is so amazing. And then the next day, later afternoon, some older gentlemen were staying in a cabin up the road. They had their bear tag and they were going to go hunting, but they ended up just hunting for morel mushrooms. And anyway, I called them my dwarfs. They were my four dwarfs, and I was Snow White. They didn't know I was calling them that, but
Funny, that's cute.
So are you moved, Susan? And how is your shoulder?
I have moved and my shoulder is healing. It's frustrating to not be able to drive or do anything. And they say it's going to be that way for weeks. So we'll see. But when I went in for my 11-day post-surgery check, he said I was healing really fast. And the first 2 incisions didn't have any scarring. He was really shocked that 2 incisions had already healed.
Fantastic.
So just one bigger one to go. And then, but they say it takes a year to actually recover from rotator cuff injury and surgery. So we'll see. But I'm hoping cut that all in half.
I bet you do.
Yeah, you can claim that.
I am. I definitely am. Yeah. So how's your spiritual journeys coming?
I sort of shared mine already.
Mine is, gosh, I really do feel every day that I'm being called to go inward all the time. But my challenge is that I feel that, but I don't always take the time to do it. I feel like I need to have more time of, going in with quiet meditation and connecting with God, whatever. But it's like, it's a challenge for some reason. I mean, it's the more I want that, the more challenging it is to get it. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
Find so many things distract me. So that's kind of my where my spiritual journey is right now. And I've just had no energy. I just have been so, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm not sleeping great, but I'm not sleeping that bad either. Not getting enough sleep. I wake up but I'm just so tired and so lack of energy. And I don't know if that's part of that, but anyway, it's just, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm feeling so called to connect so much with my divine self, my true self, and not the body. And so the body keeps finding things to distract me with that. Okay, well, how about this? Latest one was, I've got a cold sore, and I'm dealing with that.
That's my story. It's just like the body does what it does, and then either that's a message, the bigger message is to slow down. And even though I feel like I'm still in stages of recovery, I guess we're always in recovery from something. It's there's such a push to want to do things, especially when it's so beautiful outside and you want to be outside and you want to be doing and not just sitting in it. But I'm just finding joy in the skills and the things that are coming back to me that I can do, even though it's a busyness, it's a distraction, but they're also little meditations for me too, because I'm present while I'm doing it and I'm not distracted by anything else. So it's as it is, and I can't have any expectations that it's going to be like anybody else's.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Sue?
So I'm also being pushed or pulled into more inner work, inner focus, inner concentration. So what came to me was the words we have all heard growing up, but I had a new understanding of it. Well, I never had any understanding of it. So it's never been words I've ever actually used. So the words are, be still and know I am God. And unless somebody has a problem with that, that's what I'm going to suggest meditating on. So what I read was, be still is a command from the higher self to the whole body, every single cell, to be still, which means do not react to the physical world. Do not react to the physical message from the human. Do not do anything that is a reactionary action, which means then the cells at that point in the quantum field, we bring a message in, it goes to the quantum field, the quantum field spirit sends it to the cells. That's the message the cells want to respond to in this command. Be still is a command to the cells to go into their divine order, perfect health, divine order, perfect health, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, energetically. And then the next word, and know, is the know, kind of the phase, I know that I know. It's like the human knows, the higher self knows everything. Hasn't been revealed, but I know it's there. Be still and know I am, which is God or higher self, or whatever you want to call it. God. So the whole command, which is what it is, it's not a request, it's not it's not asking for, it's claiming. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine, because we're just going to go into silence. And whatever you are, sometimes when we present an idea or an image or a focus, as soon as we start the meditation, we go to where we need to go. We hear the words we need to hear, and we're guided to know what and directed what we need to know. So, and that's fine. That's the way it is. So I have a focal point. You use it or not, it doesn't really matter. It's just going in and having that focus that we want the whole mind and body to respond to the spirit, not the human, is what I'm getting, and not the outside world, and not the messages from the world. It's from the inside. So, any other suggestions or?
Well, what came to me was be still and know we are one.
Okay,
That's what resonates for me.
perfect.
And that oneness includes everything and any image of higher self or God self.
It does. Anything else?
Lynn's
I don't know.
muted.
Perfect timing for this. I'm very excited about this meditation, Sue. It's perfect timing for me. Thank you.
Okay. Lynn, do you want to offer something?
No, I just said when Evie said that, I went perfect. You know,
Okay,
That's
you guys go on mute and let's go in, and we're going to spend quite a bit of time in the silence because I want this to be a full experience. So we're going to do 20 minutes in silence. And you can, I mean, that doesn't mean you have to sit in silence. It means you can be journaling. I mean, because sometimes when I go into a meditation, it's really clear. Get your pen and paper out. You're getting a download journal. So however you are guided to spend your quiet time, just go ahead. So I'll do a little lead in, and then we'll all be in silence, okay? All right. So you can be on camera or off camera, whatever is best for you. And what we want to do is connect above and below. And first, let's just feel our feet firmly planted on Earth Mother. And pulling in all that nurturing, loving energy right up through our feet and filling our whole body with that nurturing love that is in nature every time we go into nature. And just feel that coming in. And as it comes in and fills the body, breathe it in and breathe out anything, any confusion, any upset, any anger, any frustration. Just breathe it out and let it go. Set the intention to fill up with Spirit's love and light and release all our human concerns. Each breath a calming breath. Each breath a soothing breath. Each breath a transformation. All that wonderful nurturing love filling us. And then let's take our focus all the way up to a portal, wherever that portal is for you. And going into the sacred wisdom, intelligence, compassion of the universe. All that is known for all time is all still there. And we'll bring our focus down And we're also bringing with it, we're bringing this focus down to our hearts. And let's set the intention that this connection is also our connection to our DNA and our Akash. And we're giving permission to activate and access any moment, any event, any accomplishment made in the past in any lifetime be brought into present time for your benefit. And now let's see this energy from above and below, connected in our hearts, connected from crown to toe. And let's take it out 3 feet. And we are now surrounded in, I see pink light, and I see just a shimmer of energy all around me and filling me. And from this cocoon of love and light and protection, we call in all our spirit guides, spirit teams, spirit protectors to watch over us and to help us do whatever we are not able to imagine we can do. We will now go into 20-minute quiet time and use whatever words you want or image you want to focus on. And then I will call us back in 20 minutes. Evie, can you go on mute, please? You may very gently begin to come back to our circle. And if you need to, you can just come back into the picture wave and stay in meditation. You may also share at this time if you would like anything.
It's just a very peaceful time, so really appreciated it.
It was peaceful. So this trailer is not set up for winter. This is a very cold place. There's no insulation. So I keep asking Spirit, so this looks fine for summer, but what's the plans for winter? And I don't see a change in plans. So then I asked, I sort of put a command out, then bring me help to fix this up. Bring me the talent, the skills, the tools, the people to fix this up. And I saw the cutest picture of either a tiny house or the trailer with a deck and flower pots, and it was charming. So we'll see.
Where is your trailer located, Sue?
I'm right out at Lake Goodwin on my daughter's property. And it's actually the road, when we go out the road and down the road to the intersection of the main country road, across the street is an entrance into Lake Goodwin State Park, and they're camping. So I can walk down to Lake Goodwin Park. So out of Smoky Point. North, way north. In the woods. I'm in the woods on a construction site. They're still building.
And are you part of that building project?
So my job is, when I have both arms, is I collect brush and burn it. So I have a little chainsaw. I have clippers, and I go around and if they don't have a pile, go out, and they usually have piles of it, and drag it over, saw it up, burn it. Great big bonfires. They're great. I love big bonfires.
I suppose you can't do that now in this time of year. I suppose that is something that you have to wait to do.
Oh no, when you have property, you can burn. You can burn until your neighborhood becomes a high risk for fire.
Seems like that's always high risk. Wow. So are you happy? Is this where you want to be? Is this, I don't know your circumstances, so I didn't know you were going to be moving into a trailer.
Townhouse with us, where I was living, she put it on the market, and it sold within a couple of days. It sold. It just, somebody walked in and made her an offer, and she said, sure. And my daughter's been building here for a couple of years, clearing and building. And they said, so my daughter's always said, you're gonna live with me. And then everything keeps changing. So anyway, I'm here, and they had bought a little trailer from a neighbor to live in while they were constructing their place. Well, their first place. The second place will be their home. This is a huge garage, workshop, and studio. And so I now have the little trailer. Actually, it's very peaceful. The first, I sat down and I could not believe how at peace I was. So my personality is having a problem. My soul is being soothed, nurtured, comforted. I mean, it's so typical of being a human. The soul is happy, personality is saying, but I want it different. Hence this Thursday morning meditations. Yeah.
What's the timeline on the house being completed?
Oh, I don't know. There's no timeline. He's doing most of the work himself. There's no timeline. So anybody else have something to share?
It was just so relaxing. It was so relaxing. I was reminded of when I was staying up at our cabin and a few days into my stay, every day I would go exploring. I would explore campsites and, because it was vacant, no one was there. So I was sort of roaming and exploring, and I was never afraid when I was by myself. I always had my dog with me, but I was never afraid. And then I went for a long walk up in the woods. I started to come back. Oh, and by the way, every single day I went for a walk. Those four dwarfs, the four men at the end of the road that were staying there, they would randomly drive by and they would see this woman in the woods, and I'd be in a different location every time they saw me. And I thought, what are they thinking? Because they don't know who I am. And they would drive by and they'd go, oh my God, what, look at, there's a woman there. And then she's up the road 5 miles. And then she's, this woman is randomly spotted and they don't know where I live or where I'm from. And they never approached me until one day I was in the woods and I was coming out of them. And he came up one of the roads and he had a beagle dog with him, and the dog started to bark. And he said, can I let my dog out to play with yours? And I'm like, okay. And I'm sitting there going, who does that? I mean, I think everyone does it, but why don't men recognize the insecurity of a woman by herself in the woods, approaching her in a vehicle? He has a pistol on his hip, a knife on his other hip. And, he's, can my dog play with yours? And I'm like in the middle of frickin' nowhere. And I'm like, okay, so I backed off and made sure I kept a distance from him. He looked like a minor mountaineer guy. He had a long white beard and, dressed really ruggedly, and he was sort of frail. And so physically, I felt like if anything happened, I'd be able to get away. But he told me, this is sort of maybe a little bit in alignment with your story, Sue. He told me that he had been in a diabetic coma and he was in the hospital for 4 months. And he came out paralyzed. And then he went from that to a wheelchair, from a wheelchair to a walker, from a walker to a cane, from a cane to now being able to walk upright. And he gets a lot of exercise because of his dog. And this is the first time he'd ever been up at the cabin where he and his friends were staying. Anyway, point being is that before I was uncomfortable, and as he started to talk, I started to listen, and I looked at him and I said, oh, and then he said, and one day I woke up and he said, all of my skin had been peeling off, all of my hair had fallen out all over my body. He says, it was like I was reborn, and everything started to come back, grow back. And I got stronger and stronger. Then I got this dog, and one day I realized I didn't need to take insulin anymore, so I just didn't. And he said, and it's been months and I've never felt healthier, even though I'm still weak. I've never felt healthier.
Mm.
And so first and foremost, the question is, why is this man even sharing this with me? This random woman in the woods. And I realized, I sat there and I went, oh my God, his name was Sam. And I said, I think I'm in the presence of a miracle. And he goes, what? He was really rugged. What? A miracle? And I go, I think I'm in the presence of a miracle. And I said, and this is where your story comes in. I said, you know what, Sam, I don't think you should ever take what has happened to you lightly. And I think from this point forward, you need to, with intention, bless every human, every tree, every plant. I mean, just bless the world around you. Because how many people can share your story? Bless everyone. And I said, in this moment, I feel very blessed to be in your presence. 10 minutes earlier, I was scared to death you were going to kill me. And I said, and now I am feeling completely blessed by your presence. And he's like, well, no one has ever told me that before. And I'm like, well, I think your life has changed for the better. And I think it's changed for a reason. And I think it's just something to consider. Then in the meantime, another car started to drive by, backed up, came up the path that we were on. And it was the 3 other men that he's staying in the cabin with. And I'm like, okay, now I'm completely outnumbered. And they turned around and came over to where I was. And anyway, they were all very gentle and kind. They all had guns on their hips and knives on their other hips. And a random woman in the woods with no weapon, no protection. My dog is a golden retriever, and she was greeting all of them, wagging her tail. And, anyway, so my point is maybe you are where you are for a reason, Sue. And because of who you are and the belief in which you have, I imagine you're already doing this, but just bless everywhere where you are. Bless your RV that you're in. It's beautiful. The backdrop is beautiful. Just what a blessing. What a blessing that as you are healing, you're in this beautiful space and place and cocoon, and then I feel blessed to be in your presence and to have your guided meditations. So just take that blessing that you are and bless your environment that you're in. And who knows who'll come up to you in the middle of the woods and share a miracle story and then offer you a house on the hill. I don't know.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a great example, Cinda, how the stories in our head drive us until shown otherwise. And then you think, why did I ever think that way in the first place?
Right. And that's why I called these 4 men my 4 of the 7 dwarfs. I don't know if dwarfs is even an appropriate word to use anymore, but they were just
Your
kind,
protectors.
gentle. Yeah, they were kind, gentle men at the end of the road, and this random woman. So there was me and them and no one else for miles. And I'm so glad they didn't bother me again. But anyway, it was just so bizarre.
I like that.
That's beautiful.
I like that term. That they were mountain men. That's why they had a knife and a gun, and
Right.
that was their survival. They were.
Right. They were absolutely mountain, at least for the week that they were up there. They were mountain men.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do in their real lives. I think they're from Portland. So funny. But it's also, Evie, thank you for bringing that up, because it's like, you're right. I was afraid. I thought I'm not safe. I had a whole scenario in my head. I tried to keep my distance. And then I just with intention decided to shift the energy within me, but also within that situation, and to introduce to him something I was fully aware he had never thought of before, fully aware that he had never considered himself a miracle, nor someone who could bless someone just by his presence alone, you know?
He could have said you were crazy. And I think
Yeah.
it took courage for you to be authentically who you are and to say that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right.
Big courage.
I mean, as I'm saying it, I'm thinking that I'm like, oh my God, he's just going to go, you are a wackadoodle. But instead, he's like, no one has ever told. I mean, I don't know. Like, can you imagine this rugged mountain man with a beard down to his belly button, getting in his rugged car with his beagle and driving back to his rugged cabin and like, wow, I'm a miracle. Wow, that lady in the
Yeah.
woods thought, you know, this apparition, was she real? Did she really just call me a blessing? Did she
Yeah.
really just say she was blessed by my presence?
You could have had a very much profound impact on him.
I will probably never know, but it just seemed right in that moment to say that. But the reason why I share that story is the oddity of where we can find ourselves. And here's Sue in the middle of nowhere in a way north in a little trailer. And she's like, how did my life become this? And where am I going to go when the weather gets cold come October? And I just think, take advantage of where you are and create a miracle on the spot and bless everything and everyone that comes into your contact, including yourself.
Yeah.
And just see what transpires.
That's
think-
the plan.
I keep thinking of forest bathing. Forest bathing. You can be there, and the rest of that's going to be healing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm spending most of the day in the garden. Big vegetable garden.
Mm.
Nice.
You know what? The medical medium, I don't know if you've ever read or listened to anything Anthony Williams has written or said, but Anthony Williams, the medical medium, has written many books on health, and it's all health through nutritional means, which is all plants and herbs. And he talks about how when we plant in the garden, when we have a connection with every seed or every, little seedling that we put into the earth, if we bless it and honor it as we're planting it, it will take a reading from us and know exactly what it is that we need, and it will produce that nutrition that is unique for us.
Mhm.
So as you're planting in the garden and as you're pulling a weed out or whatever you're doing, if you create a relationship with all of those seedlings, they will nourish you when they begin to produce their fruit and vegetable. And I love that. That is something I choose to believe in. And he says also, when you go to the grocery store, if you're looking at like a great big pile of broccoli, there's always one head of broccoli that you're drawn to. And that's because the life force of that broccoli is in alignment with what your body needs. And you are drawn to that head, not that one or that one. I mean, how many times do we pick something up and put it back and then we go, here it is? He says that's because that broccoli is producing what your body nutritionally needs.
I love
And
it.
every time you open the refrigerator, that energy starts to heal you, even before you digest the food.
That's lovely.
I know, I choose to believe that.
That's back to what, to me, that draws me back to what Evie said earlier, that we are all one. And that means not just human, but all forms of life. We are all one. We're all connected.
Mhm.
This meditation was so beautiful. I just laid down on the floor and I just kept saying, I am God, I am God, God, God. So, yeah, I am
What a
one.
good start today.
Mhm.
Well, I am going to get dressed, partially dressed. There's nobody else here today.
What does partially dressed mean? No, nothing from the waist down or nothing from the waist up? What is partial?
No bra.
Okay.
Put on. It is so hard to take off. It just takes forever. So it's anyway, I'm gonna pull the chair out and find a dry one because it rained again last night, and sit in it and see if I can't find some make some hot water and head out, because then there's there's two cats here, and one cat loves people who are outside, follows you around, and loves it when you go to the garden, waits till you get settled, and then jumps in your lap, and we both sit there for as long as I can stand it.
So when you say you have to find hot water, are you not hooked up to electricity?
I have hot water, but I have a hot kettle coming tomorrow. I think it's today or tomorrow. You know, can you just plug in? I love those. And I have a teapot somewhere, so it's not like I have to find the hot water. It's here.
Okay.
I have a means of making hot water for some tea.
Yeah, just a little pan. That's what we have to do. We put on the wood stove, heat up the water, make our little thingy. Oh,
Hmm.
what an adventure you're on, Sue, but how uncomfortable as you're healing, huh?
Yes, and it's all about the inward journey here. It's all about the inward journey. Even if I do, when I can do brush, it'll still be, that is so meditative for me, working outside. It's just like working in a garden. It has the same calming effect. We can work for hours and hardly ever talk, which is really nice.
Thank you. Thank you all, Sue,
Yeah.
Cinda, and Lynn.
Yeah, so good to see everyone again.
It's so good to know that we are all going inside, finding our truth and our power to heal, because the healing we do on the inside is so much greater than the healing the outside world tells us how to do. So much greater. Together, it is a system, inside and outside.
Beautiful.
Enjoy your day. Until we see again. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a great day.
Bye-bye.